Scary Harry Gary here, going to take you on a really awesome hike through the splendor of California's native flora in the semi-coastal zone of Napa Valley here at Bothe State Park. This is a really incredible place. All kinds of native plants. Right now it's May 17th. That means it's pretty much the height of bloom here for all the wildflowers. What's interesting about this spot is that I'm really familiar with the mountains that are about 25 miles to the east, closer to the Central Valley. That's right behind my ranch. Now that area over there is way ahead in bloom of the flowers here. It's because spring comes sooner there. It's much hotter there. The reason it's so much hotter there is it's farther from the ocean. The fog that comes from the ocean is delivered from the ocean. You can see it clicking over those mountains right there. And that allows a later, more delayed bloom like we have right here, right now. Now, this is a whole native, beautiful redwood forest habitat. We're gonna go through all that. I'm gonna identify some plants, and you're gonna identify some plants for me that I don't know the names of, that I desperately want to learn. The most efficient way to learn. So, this place used to be a place of reverence for the California Native Americans, and they were here first. They were here for thousands of years, living just naturally through this whole entire area. Now, ultimately, their lifestyle got disrupted, as we all know, when the Europeans came from Spain and Mexico. And then the land grants came, land got divided up. The Native Americans sort of got dispelled a little bit, a real tragic story. But before that happened, the Spanish that came up here revered these people. They even had a name for them. They called them the Guapo tribe. Now, if you don't know Spanish, what guapo means is good looking and brave. So that was a really, really complimentary term that they named them that. Now, ultimately, the land grants from the Mexican government got split up in smaller parcels. The Hitchcock family, it was a really wealthy family. They bought this whole entire area where the park is now. Now, they had a daughter named Lily Hitchcock. When she was 7 years old in the mid 1800s, the family was at a hotel that caught on fire. Poor Lily got stuck inside the building. She was looking at certain death at 7 years old, had barely lived her life yet. And then the firefighters came in and saved her. Ultimately, she lived her life, got married. She got married to a guy by the last name of Coit. Does that ring a bell? It should. Have you ever heard of Coit Tower in San Francisco? That big, beautiful monolith tower. It looks like a giant fire nozzle that sticks up above everything on the big hill there. That's right, there's a connection. So when Lily finally passed away in 1929, she bequeathed enough money to the city of San Francisco to build that most beautiful monument that we all enjoy. And it was basically a big thank you to all the firefighters of the world that protect us every day and save lives like they did to Lily. And so the next time you go see Coit Tower, I want you to think about that. And I also want you to think about where she grew up and where she enjoyed her life, which was right here. Let's go on this hike. Let's see some cool plants.
Can anyone name this most beautiful vining, climbing plant that's so lush? Big lobed leaves. Look at how pretty it is. Let me just climb all over it and get a close up. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Super beautiful. Has beautiful little berries, yellow greenish berries. Well, if you had guessed poison oak, you'd be correct. Poison oak could be a tree, it could be a bush, it could be a ground cover, it could be a climbing vine. Here it's a climbing vine, and it actually behaves when it's a climbing vine. It knows it's a climbing vine, and it will actually cling like ivy with little tendrils to the trunks. And so it's pretty amazing. It's a very beautiful plant. Just don't mess with it. That's all. So I'm down here at the Bothe Napa Valley State Park. We're gonna go on a fun hike, and I'm gonna take you along with me. Tell you a little bit about this place. Going on the Redwood Trail, the Ritchie Canyon Trail, Coyote Peak Trail, South Fork Trail, Spring Trail. I'm not sure where we're going. But we're going that way. Let's go. Look, our first invasive, not so invasive, a campus mollusk from Mediterranean, not supposed to be here. Not sure anyway. They're a native sword fern. All right, here's our native walnut. Here's our native buckeye. Look, here's our native big leaf maple. Gorgeous plant. And off we go. Did I mention our native Bothe sneaking out of the sea of poison oak? And we do have our native redwoods. Beautiful. And our native redwood stream habitat that these trees are living off of. And a redwood bridge. Why not check it out? Take a look. Look at that. You dare me? You dare me to drink it? All right, let's go. I'm one of those people who likes to get a little bit of exposure, build up my immunity. This is where you want to do it, or it's running and it's not stagnant. I'm just going to give it a little try. You ready? Here we go. Just like a dog. Just like a dog. And on your forward. All fours. Really good. All right. Now we'll wait 24 hours. See what happens. I predict nothing will happen. If something happens, I'll let you know. And then you'll know you shouldn't drink this water. Whoa. I gotta catch up. So, yeah, the redwoods here, they're not huge. They're really localized down in the bottom near the streams because we're not really in heavy duty redwood habitat. We're on the peripheral edge of redwood habitat. If this were true redwood habitat, these trees would be absolutely enormous. Here's probably the biggest grove I've seen yet coming up right there. What's cool about these trees is that you don't never really know how old they are because you cut one down and they'll just grow right back from the stump. And they'll always migrate outward away from the stump. There's a nice little redwood grove. Look at this. Isn't that beautiful? A little bench back there. Let's see. Yeah, so they could actually, like this clump right there could be one tree, died in the middle, sprouted from the edges, 4 or 5 trees grew up, so on, so forth, and forth which. Honey, I drank the water. It was really good. You think I'll be okay? We'll see. We'll see. You feel like a bad parent, honey? I mean, come on. How many times did you take your kids like hiking without helmets? Look, do you see all these rocks? Look at this. There's rocks everywhere. I think somebody's building a dam. That's what I used to do. Yeah, they're definitely building a dam. I heard dam talk. Are you guys building a dam? Awesome! I'm the best dam builder ever. That's right. I'm the best dam builder ever. To rephrase that, I'd go down there and help them if I had more time. But I don't. I'm gonna get left in the dust. And there, my friends, is our California buckeye being accented by a burned fir bark tree. This big old boy here, he's probably seen it all before, but there was a huge fire through here that kind of took a lot of trees out. See all the fire scars, and Yeah, bark's all burned, but it just keeps rolling forward. Redwoods actually have resistant bark. So redwoods over there, the fire, and they dealt with it as well. It looks like the fire was so intense that it denuded all of the foliage. No, just the lower foliage. Look, see the lower foliage on these trees. See how it's just sprouting out of the trunk? And then way up there, there's big old lateral branches. That means that all the lateral branches down low succumbed to the fire to about 50 feet high. But everything above that did okay. It means the fire didn't completely crown the tops of the trees. So that's a good thing. But it is interesting to see that this redwood tree is just so adapted to fire. It just deals with it and then, sheds a little bit of foliage and then creates a whole new tapestry, vertical tapestry of new foliage coming out to make those new branches. And that right there is definitely one organism that sprouted from one single tree in the middle and has radiated outward through stump basal sprouts. And now I'm really far behind. Getting higher above the riparian zone, we enter the oak zone here. And these appear to be heavily mossed black oaks. Quercus cologia. Look. Big, beautiful, shiny green leaf. It's one of my favorite oaks. It actually colors up really well yellow in fall. One of the few oaks to do so. And black oak has a finer green texture of bark than you would see on a valley oak. Deciduous. Here's a really interesting one here. Fun one. That's a real fun one. I like this tree. Looks like a tropical rainforest tree where it goes straight up before it makes any branches for 35 feet. And we've got some bay trees in here. Right there, trying to come back from the fire. Looks like the fire probably happened, in my guesstimate, about 3 or 4 years ago. Maybe 5. But it does lend, people think it's kind of a tragedy, but it does lend a beautiful contrast to the forest of black on green, which I think is really striking. It also opens up sunlight to come in for all these other sun-loving species to thrive. Just a normal composition of the California biome. Like it's nothing. Like it's nothing. Not even flinching. See if I have the same luck. Huh? Oh yeah. Easy peasy. All right, my wife is totally annoyed. She even told me so. But I couldn't pass this up. Someone's going to tell us what this, I'm assuming, native plant is. I'm finding sort of in the forest duft growing with poison oak, and there's actually a little bit of native rose here that's not blooming yet. But what is this beautiful mauve? You see it? That thing right there. That's why God made the comments, so that I can learn. Oh, here's a little cute little baby manzanita. Look at that. I should just love the California native plant material. All right, she's way up there again. Where is she? Yep. Where is she? She's way up there. Not waiting at all anymore. She was at first. Not anymore. Gotta run. This is the best redwood grove yet. Beautiful. I'm not sure if this is going to be the best one of the day. With a beautiful big leaf golden maple shining in. This looks like the fire didn't hit so bad in here. Just a little bit of fire scar. This is how it's supposed to look. Wow, gorgeous. I don't think I've mentioned my favorite native tree in the world, native to California. That's the madrone, people. Look at that, gorgeous evergreen. Looks tropical, looks like a ficus. Here we have it. It also gets contorted shapes, which you'll see if I stand back up here. Growing out sideways like that. Always doing that. Beautiful red bark. And again, I'm getting left in the dust. Hopefully you guys appreciate these videos because you have no idea of the undue strain it puts on our relationship. Here's another baby close-up foliage madronon. And I am gonna have to catch up once more. Yeah. California native monkey flower popping out of the hillside. Isn't that pretty? All right, let's see if I can do a full checklist. There's a manzanita hanging over the edge right there. Hard to see, I know. Disregard the heavy breathing. It's not what you think. I'm taking video of this leaf here because this is another black oak. But look, the foliage is completely different. Shows you the variability. It's really big, extra pointed, and deep, what do you call those? Deep insets. Just like totally different. Isn't that neat? It's coming from this tree that got absolutely obliterated by falling trees. Oh, look, it's coming from all the way over here. Oh my God. Look, it starts over there. Comes this way. Goes across this ravine. See? Where's it start? Where's it start? Oh, it starts right over there. So it fell down, across the ravine, and now it's trying to make itself great again, like we're trying to do with everything, always. Native Iris deglaciana, right there. They're usually white out in the native environment, and there's all kinds of colored versions that were hybridized. There's probably some colored versions out there naturally, but most of the ones you see in gardens have been manipulated by man to be extra colorful. There you go. I see ceanothus. I see ceanothus. Let's see if I can find some blooms. That's the first ceanothus I've seen. There's a beautiful little dainty grass. It's California native. I don't know which one, but it's really just so beautifully delicate. I may have this already in my garden, but if I don't, I'm getting somewhere right now because I'm going to collect these seeds right here. Put them in my pocket. Native heuchera. This is a great tropical looking plant that's native to California right here. See, it has a beautiful pattern on its leaf. New leaves are rather bronze colored, like that. There's lots of different heucheras out there that have been hybridized. Here's that same flower that we saw earlier. I'm begging you to tell me what it is. Right there. And here's a big blossoming heuchera, so you know what you're looking at right there. This grass almost looks like a tillandsia coming out of the cliffside. Look at that. There's another one up there. Does anybody know what this one is? That is really cool. I like it. This might be the most tropical looking thing that we encounter on the strip, and that is Woodwardia imbricata, I think the name is. It's this really big California native fern. Here's my foot for scale. Super beautiful. Everybody always thinks California native, drought tolerant. Not at all for this one. It's got to be in constant moisture. You can see down here. Look, this is like a little stream. See how wet it is down in there? That's why this one exists. And then the western sword fern, not to be confused with it, is right next to it a little higher up. But isn't that a gorgeous thing? You can make a really cool native garden, people, as you can tell. I usually don't. I've done a couple, but being the exotic plant guy, I don't usually get called for that. Not that I'm making gardens anymore, but they can be really astounding with the right stuff in the right place, and there's plenty to choose from. So keep that in mind. Another moment where you get to tell Gary what this plant is. Comments, please. Well, obviously where there's water, it's gonna look tropical. Look how big this leaf is. It's my hand. So I've seen this plant all over here and there. I never bothered to learn what it was. But again, that's why God made the comment section. So please do let me know. That's what it looks like in front of a burned redwood. Jurassic looking, isn't it? Please tell Gary what this one is here. That is really pretty. I used to know the name of that plant, but currently not. Here's Lithocarpus densiflorus. This is the type of, they call it, I forget the, something oak, but it's not really an oak. It looks like an oak, but it's not. It typically starts growing in areas just above the redwood zone. It's a beautiful evergreen, grows all the way up into Oregon, maybe further. And we are still heavily redwooded here. Surprising out of the creek zone, but there is quite a bit of water flow through this area. The stream right up here. So it's saturating the ground, allowing these trees to thrive. And then again, there's a beautiful, look at that beautiful poison oak growing up the tree. And up there's an annoyed wife up there. I gotta hurry. What about this one here? Help a brother out. Comments, please. Please ID this plant. Please, please, please. Here's that tillandsia-like grass again. I really, really like this plant. Look at this. Looks like it's really drought tolerant. And it throws a flower. Here's the flower that goes up. Hard to focus, huh? Better? No, sorry. But there it is. What is that? Okay, I promised you ceanothus flowers. And I delivered. There they are. Interestingly, all of the ceanothus near my ranch is in full bloom. Ceanothus in San Diego, past full bloom. And here it's just starting. So, but yeah, here's your beautiful ceanothus in flower with an iris. And here's what happens in the manzanita during a fire. Completely burns on top. But look, all the new foliage on the bottom, sprouting up from the base, starting life anew. Remember that for a lesson. Toyon does the same exact thing. So everything comes back and recovers given time. Okay, here's a native California bulb. And I'm sure if I got in the books, I could figure this out. But why would I do that when you can just tell me? Look at them all. You needs a very specific soil type to thrive, and obviously that's happening right here. Sorry to be so redundant, but Gary don't know what that is. Please tell him. I'm learning that whole fable with the tortoise and the hare. It's totally true. I'm the hare. She's a tortoise. She keeps winning every time. It's amazing. Can't keep up. Watch this. Whoa. Landed it. All right, caught up again. All right, please let a brother know what that be. All right, and supposing it's some cool native bulb plant. It's growing underneath redwoods, deep in shade, right out of the duft. I bet that has a cool flower at some point, and I'm really stoked that you're going to tell me what that is. Thank you. Honey, you ever heard the parable of the tortoise and the hare?
Uh-huh.
Do you think that's something that's playing out today?
Who's the tortoise, me?
I've spent this whole time running.
I know. You're talking and videoing and running. Saturday, I'm not waiting for you. You're frivolous filming.
Frivolous. You know how many people rely upon this for their entertainment and education? Honey, I'm making the world a better place.
I'm not waiting for it.
One video at a time. Oh well. Here we go again. Look at this beautiful, beautiful, whatever this stuff is. Some little baby Christmas trees coming up. This is what I was talking about. This redwood hasn't even died, but it's standing out babies all around it. That'll be a big, beautiful ring of trees. And then those trees will have their own babies someday. And they'll have their own, and so forth, and forth which, for thousands of years, probably after we're gone, they'll still be here, doing the same thing they've always done. Now here's the bad news. This madrone, well, it got torched, like with everything else in here. But there's good news, and that is that the sprouts off the bottom, they're taking advantage of this huge root system for this tree that's been here for a really long time, concentrating all of those nutrients and energy into a small area, has created the most beautiful foliage-filled madrone I've ever seen. Isn't that spectacular? Look at it dance in the wind. And the phoenix is certainly rising. And yet a better one. Look at this one. This one's gorgeous. Ceanothus. I see Ceanothus. Also, you get a long view of this open canyon here. Let me get my plant out of the way. There. There's not too many long views you get here. Maybe we'll get some more later. Shows you. It's like the west face of the mountain doesn't harbor nearly as much material as the east face, which we're currently traversing through. Yep. All right, here's the itsy bitsy little oak inhabiting this dry hillside. Very beautiful evergreen. I don't know the name of this and would love to know. Hint, hint, hint. And while we're at it, we might as well throw in the comments what that one is too. Sorry. It's an efficient way to learn. Look at that. That's a big boy manzanita. Some beautiful lichen. And I'm liking it. Look at this thing. Huge tree. It's probably 18 feet tall, 18 feet wide. Probably a 20-inch caliber trunk. Look at this beautiful bark. Beautiful bark. Yeah, look at that. All right, if you're ambitious enough to hike all the way to the top of Coyote Peak, you will see a beautiful leaning madrone and some vineyards down below. I'm not sure if this is the highest point, but it's one of them. And that, my friends, is a culturally inappropriate named plant called Indian paintbrush. The Native Americans were nowhere near India. But anyway, it's still called the Indian paintbrush, which is still a cool name, but it's just, they just didn't know any better when they named it that. Okay, we'll go that way. Oh my God, Becky, look at that leaf. I like big leaves, and I cannot lie. All right, somebody tell me what's going on here. Look at this. So what do we have? Is it a black oak? No, I don't know. What is going on here? Look at this, purple new growth. So what's happened here is this tree has been fallen over. It's uprooted, and it was cut, and it's definitely an oak. I guess the wildest guess would be a black oak, Cologii, Quercus Cologii. But then look what's happening. This is insane. I don't care if she bailed on me. I've never seen this before. All right, look at this. Look at this. Let me just get a good example. Look at this. Look how big that leaf is compared to my hand. It's not shiny like the black oak, and it's unbelievably purple with its new growth. Whoa! That was almost the end of me. Somebody tell me what's going on with that. Look at that. That is gorgeous. More bad news and more good news. Bay tree, torched. torch. But a loss. Oh, look how beautiful the new growth is. Gorgeous. It's coming back. Nature always comes back. Kind of a fun totem pole style growth of a madrone that got decapitated when this bigger madrone fell on it. Its little brother decapitated it right there. Then it's like, all right, I can do this. Let's just sprout a whole bunch of beautiful little ladder sprouts. Go all the way up the tree. Real beautiful. I haven't really seen one like this, but I like the look. I do. I very much do. She went that way. I went here. She doesn't want to do this, but I will. I'll show you. She wants to go to the hotel and get some soap and wipe off all the poison oak that is surely on her legs. But let me tell you, the very moment you see water after you've been in poison oak, you need to go down into it and rub yourself off, get that oil off, dissipate that oil, okay, both legs. But then also, even better, get some gritty sand, kind of rub it off a little bit. You know, that'll really take out anything that's there. Sure, your legs are gonna be a little dirty, no problem. Throw a little fresh water on it. Then it'll just look like you sweat really bad, which will make you look like a bad, you know what. All right, now it's time to do the other leg. You get the idea, right? That's what you got to do. Down by the creek, you're gonna see the biggest, best, baddest big leaf maples. Acer macrophyllum, native California tree. There's a big boy right here. He got torched a little bit in the fire, right up in there, but he sprouted out. It's gotta be 60 feet tall. This thing's huge. Partially the reason why it's so tall is it's down here fighting for light, going vertical. Look how pretty these leaves are. Isn't that great? Look at that. Look at that pattern. Look at that. Come on. Tell me there's nothing more beautiful than that. What's my favorite plant? It's the one I'm looking at. You got this. Come on, do it. Do it. I got the camera running. Want to watch me do it?
Yeah, we'll watch you.
Hold my camera, I'll do it.
Okay.
Let me show you how. Just like this. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Huh?
Huh?
What?
What?
Mom, I could do that. I'm in gymnastics.
Right on. Look at that.
Hello.
He's got that
Great job.
There will be a day it rots and cracks, and hopefully it's not the day that
You're on it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Horsey.
All right. Horses. Here they go.
Okay,
Here they go.
We're obviously having tons of fun.
All right.
Two.
Hope you better make it, because if you don't, I'm gonna be in big trouble with Mom and Dad. Okay, be careful out there.
You too.
All right. I don't want to freak these horses out by running. Oh, I guess I already did. They're spooked. My scary, hairy Gary must have been my scent. Did I mention they have campgrounds you can drive right up to, where you don't have to bring your tent, because they have yurts. Seriously, guys, this is probably a great deal. I have no idea what this costs, but look, each one of these yurts has electrical hookup, picnic table, in the heart of the Napa Valley. They also have little cabins. Here's the Manzanita cabin. I believe that one says Madrone. And that's the oak cabin. And what's this one? Oh, I know. That's the outhouse. And I'm officially lost right now. I don't know where. We parked in a parking lot that looks nowhere near where I am. Maybe that way? I don't know. It's amazing what you'll discover when you're lost. Here's a really cool campground. And a little amphitheater over there. Barbecue pits. And I remember this place. The friends that were here for their wedding anniversary, they had a big party. They drove around a big party bus. And we came here and they had a big frisbee, like beer hors d'oeuvres over there. And then it was a really hot day. And they have a pool here, but the pool's closed. I'm not going to confirm nor deny whether on that day I hopped the fence and I jumped in that pool, but couldn't get anybody else to come with me. That may or may not have happened.